Hi, end of day liquidity, 14th of July going into the 15th of July in the Globex markets or global markets. Just having a look at the SPX, the main index during the lit hours, we can see that we've come through a period of some quite heavy selling, selling being red and in the irregular liquidity above the line. We can see here green has been quite strong. We've had some quite strong buying during the day. If we just look at a shorter period, we can see again we've had SPX has been really quite strong. A good way of sort of checking this it would be to look. I've got two other indicators open down here. These indicators are for the VIX futures, and as we can see here, it's a very nice mirror. And what that's telling us is that the liquidity is really between the indexes and the VIX here at the moment. So it's really between puts and calls, the hedging, which is it's giving us the VIX on the 30-day hedges, and we can see that they're quite mirrored. So they're not being affected by other things like the dollar or by parity funds rebalancing bonds and stocks as they need to as their prices change. We can see that it's really just about puts and calls at the moment. Now, I'll just quickly change these here. These group settings can be set here in the symbol of the group. So I'm going to change it to MAG during the lit hours. That's the group that I want to see. That's a collation of all of the MAG data put together, and that just helps me to see as they're the big driver in the main indexes. There are other things within the main indexes, but they are the big driver. And so we can see here that over a period of time, we had good strength in the MAG, coming much stronger than the other parts of the SPX. On Thursday and Friday, but then we've seen that they've stayed below the line here, so they're still in buying, but they're not as strong as we saw today. We saw some real strength in the SPX. If we have a look at the proxy here, being the retail proxy, again it's had quite strong buying all day. We can see strong buying, and it's still very different to the MAG. Let's have a look at the NDX and see if it's closer to the MAG. It's again had strong buying here. In the surface liquidity was strong, and also here in the irregular liquidity, we can look, there was quite strong buying today. The last one, let's just look at the retail Qs. Retail Qs, again, strong. They were really strong. They've had a great day. If we went to the IWM, it's had some good buying into the afternoon, but a lot of this has been drawn out. It did have a lot heavier selling on Thursday and Friday with the data that came out from a reduction in job claims. If we then just have a quick look at the other things that might affect the market, let's have a look at crypto. I'm just going to close these down. I won't go to the crypto futures. The different places that I quite like in crypto are Coin had some buying during the day, but it's really been flat through. We've had quite a topping period over this last week or so, and we can see here that during this period, it's not even the last week, the last four days or so, it's been much heavier. The other things that I look at among the proxies, the day proxies, we can see we had strong buying going into the weekend from the GBTC, Grayscale Trust, and we can see that reflected in a higher price in it today, but it's been selling all day. We can see it's above the line here, that the surface is the thickest of these lines in the time lag. Let's just have a look at the two index groups that I like. This is Coinbase. Coinbase had a couple of buying periods during the day after it had strong buying I'm in the 10-minute. It had quite heavy Sunday. Oh, that's a completely different time scale. It had a quite good buying in Sunday and then heavy during the opening today, and we've seen it settle down with some more buying back into the afternoon. Capital.com, which has the most data, it obviously has a collation of a whole lot of indexes in it, had strong buying during the day, but quite different. Really only that one heavy part of buying during the indexes, which is reflected in the price we can see. Bitto and IBIT, they were heavy into the close on both of them, I think, today. IBIT probably heavier during the whole lot. And the other two that I like in this grouping, you can see that MicroStrategies was quite heavy during the day. Lots of selling, a little bit of buying into the sun and into the close. And Mustex, the daily 2 times leverage muster, only a little bit in the a little bit of buying, and that was reflected in the open interest. The open interest did suggest that there was strong buying, but there's some hesitation this week. Expect we'll get some good drift up from charm from the theta burn of those options being bought back. Silver was quite bearish, which suggests that the Dixie is going to be strong for the week. So if you're in the other side of currency pairs, be careful. The Dixie does look like it's going to go a little bit early, so we might have an early roll in the OPEX for the week. Anyway, I hope that that was pretty succinct, apart from a little bit of my confusion in the timing on the weekend BTC. All right, have a great 15th to the 7th trading in Globex futures and a good day's trading 15th to the 7th of July. Thanks for listening.